coming up.
My A&R reached out to me and he was like, if I could get Tzuyu from Twice on the record, would you be down for that? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, you've got a crazy schedule. How do you balance a relationship?
Dude,
this is wild.
It's honestly, my girl is just, she's so good at like being fine with what I do. But I've always just tried to visualize and imagine my future exactly the way I want it. And I think the energy that you give to the world, you get.
Meet Harry Jowsey, reality TV heartthrob. He's been loved, ghosted, cancelled, and kissed. He spilled his guts.
I did what?
In a world of ghosting and dodging red flags, Harry's filling his boyfriend's toolbox one lesson at a time. It's Harry Jowsey, boyfriend's material.
Can you hear it in the mic?
Oh my goodness, that's adorable.
Isn't she perfect? Guys, welcome back to Boyfriend Material. If you are new here, please subscribe. Today is going to be a very exciting episode because Kai's here, but because we also have Corbyn Besson here, who was a part of Why Don't We? And you have a new single which is out right now called Blink. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm amazing. Wait, you were just in Korea.
I was, yeah.
How was that? What's going on there over there?
Crazy, man.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for having me today.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
I'm
for
stoked to
coming.
be here. Korea, Seoul, first of all, I'll start off by saying Seoul is one of my favorite cities in the world. I just got to spend 10 days there, and I've been there before, but just like quick for like one night, play a show, and then leave the next morning to go to Japan or wherever next. So I had never gotten to like actually kind of embrace myself in the culture and like eat the food and do the shopping and do some of the touristy stuff and do like just like be in the city. And so yeah, I just went out with a couple of my friends who are also super talented creatives, and we went out there to go shoot the music video for Blink, which is featuring Tzuyu from Twice.
Okay, that's how you say it.
Which is crazy, yeah. And I still kind of say it wrong.
Okay, because I was worried.
Tzuyu is like the nickname, but
Okay.
it's like Tzuyu. Tzuyu is like, I guess how you properly say it.
Damn.
But yeah, man, it was incredible. You've never been?
No, I've never been. I just got a Korean facial, and they're like, the reason why everyone's beautiful there is because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah,
and so much more accessible.
Their skincare is so crazy out there.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's beautiful.
Everyone's
it's like
beautiful.
porcelain skin and the whole thing. Yeah, it's so sick.
Bro, I was watching Physical 100. Have you seen that show?
Mm-mm.
It's literally 100 of like the fittest Korean people, and they're like competing. I think there's like a crazy prize fund. There was some controversy in it, but everyone on that show was so beautiful. It made me get so angry. I was like, I need to get back in the gym. I need to figure out how to like looks max like all these people. Like, so
looks
beautiful.
maxing, baby. Yeah. No, it's crazy.
And apparently, like some of them don't have BO as well.
Oh, crazy.
Which is, I don't know how they figured that out.
It's like a hack,
They're
dude.
cheating.
Yeah, that's literally a hack.
Wait, so you have a song with Tzuyu.
Yeah.
And how did that come about? How does that happen?
So, yeah, the song's called Blink, by the way, if I didn't mention that already. I wrote the song with a couple friends of mine, Ten Rock, who wrote and produced the song, and then my boy James Essien, who's a super sick writer, and my boy Callie Lehman from Sweden. And it was like the third song we wrote that day, so it was like kind of late night. We were like, let's crank out one more. Like we can crank out one more. And Ten Rock loaded up like this. It was like a Nina Simone inspired sample, and it was just like this voice that kind of sounded like Nina Simone. I think it was Nina Simone that was the reference, or whatever. And it was just a voice like singing this kind of long, extensive thing. There were no really words. It was kind of more just ambience. And he loaded it into the sampler, and so you can play like splices of the audio on the keyboard, right? And so he just starts playing random keys, and it started going blink on it, blink on it, and it wasn't saying blink, but it sounded like it was saying blink, and so that was like the moment of, oh, Blink is a cool song title. Like let's try to spin off this, and threw some drums in, whatever, and wrote the verses. And then by the time we wrote the chorus, or by the time we were getting around to writing the chorus, we were like, how sick would it be if we did like this kind of cat and mouse game lyrically where it's like me singing on the verses and a female lead singing on all the choruses, and it's just like this kind of flirty game we're playing back and forth. So we wrote the chorus from like a female perspective, and then we didn't have a girl in the room or at the studio to actually cut the vocals that night, so Ten Rock sang the chorus and then ran it through like some AI format shifting and turned it into just a random female voice so that we could just hear like what it would sound like having a girl on the record. And it sounded sick.
You guys are the future.
And yeah, and this was like last, I think, October.
Whoa.
So I've been sitting on the song for like a year. But the whole time after we finished the song and everything, we were just thinking for a long time, like who's the perfect girl for this song? And we knew the song was really good, or at least, I mean, I'm probably biased. It's my own record. So we knew the song had something special about it. And so we were like, we need like the perfect girl for this. And until we get the perfect person for it, we're not putting it out. And we did some thinking, and we were living with the record and sitting on it. And my A&R, Brandon, approached me one day and he was like, what would you think about getting a K-pop female on this record? And I was like, I'm super down. And I've written for some K-pop acts in the past and have a couple records that came out. But I had never done anything on the artist side. And I love the K-pop movement in the world right now. I think it's super sick, and I've been watching it kind of develop for years. Even with like BTS, I remember back when I was in the group, I think this was 2017 probably. We went to the Billboard Music Awards, and this was the first time I had heard of BTS, and they were at the Billboard Music Awards, and I think they won like best group or best new artist or something, but they appeared on stage, and I was like, who are these guys? And they were singing their asses off, dancing their asses off, and that was my first like, oh. And then when Blackpink came around, I got into them in like 2021, 2022-ish.
Yeah.
I really started to understand like, okay, this is a whole nother world of music that is really sick. That's like, planting seeds and roots in the Western industry. So anyway, I say all that to say, my A&R reached out to me and he was like, if I could get Tzuyu from Twice on the record, would you be down for that? And I was like, hell yeah. And so he reached out to her team and sent her the record, and she loved the song. Which when I heard that, I was not like surprised because I knew the song was good, but I was also like, fire. Like that doesn't happen all the time. Like you send records out and they get lost in the abyss, and it's just like the nature of the game. She sent her vocals back, or we sent her the demo obviously, so she sent her vocals back. And she usually sings in a mix of Korean and English, but when she sent her vocals back, all the lyrics are in English. She sounded amazing, and we were like, oh, yes, this is exactly what we needed. This is perfect. It just elevated the song so much. And I think what's even cooler about it is, like, I wouldn't rather have anybody else on the record. I think the fact that she's a K-pop idol and I'm an American artist. I think like the blending of kind of two music cultures and even two just cultures in general kind of gives the song a little bit more of like a uniqueness and like a special element. And so, yeah, as you can tell, I'm really excited about it.
Dude, it's so cool. It's also like, I'm just fascinated because like to connect the dots with a different culture and also like,
also the time zone difference.
Also feels like it feels so far away. That's right. And then to make sure that like they have the same vision for the song as well. Yeah. Dude, it's so cool. Yeah. When you're moving forward in the future, like, do you think your goal is to do more like international?
I would love to, man. It's been so fun. And part of the reason it's been extra fun for me in particular is I feel like for the last like 5 years, I feel like I've just been like trapped in my house in LA, and the whole group thing went down and like we had to wait out our contracts and the whole thing. So it's kind of felt like I've just been sitting in my bedroom or in my studio downstairs, like making music, but with no real like connection to the world. So going out to Seoul to shoot the music video and to like meet her team and just be like out in the world again just felt so awesome. And so I'm trying to go to Korea as much as possible.
It's that
place
good?
is, yeah, dude, it's amazing. Southeast Asia is amazing.
Yeah, because you were vlogging there, right?
Yeah.
You doing like some videos? Dude,
Yeah.
so what's your favorite part about going out there? Because we were watching a little bit before, and it looks so fun. And
It's so cool. I think my favorite thing, I mean, it's hard to pick, but I love how different it feels from America. Like as soon as you land, you touch down, and you leave the airport. Even when you're standing out front of the airport, like it's all different kinds of cars. It's like everything's in an entirely different alphabet, you know, and like it feels like you just like left the planet and landed somewhere super different than what you know. And the food is amazing. The styling, the shopping is so cool. People walk around just looking super fly.
Damn.
And people are just like, this is probably an LA thing because people here are, it's LA.
Yeah.
But people are just like generally just like more respectful and nice, and people kind of mind their business, and it's just cool. I just love how different it is from everyday life here. So you gotta go, man. I'm talking it up so much, but
I'm excited.
It's really sick.
Yeah, no, I've got a few friends. One of my friends, he went out there to do like it's actually a crazy story. He went out there to do like a writing camp or something.
Yeah.
And I was filming this dating show, and I got kicked off the show, and I turned the TV on, and I saw him on like Korean news. I'm like, what the fuck is 12 doing? And he was like, literally just on news talking about like how these companies would just fly people out, like writers out to like do a writing camp.
My roommate is out there right now doing a writing camp. Yeah. It's funny you mention it.
Explain it a little bit, because it's like the companies, right? It's not like, hey, go out and collab with these people. Like the company will put together a group of people to figure it out.
Yeah, it's super different than America, which is also, I think, what's really cool about it. It operates a lot more like a well-oiled machine out there, the music industry specifically. And I know there's some controversy, I think, just about like certain elements of it, because the work ethic of these K-pop idols is crazy. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And I mean, a lot of them are like damn near born into it. You know, they start training when they're really young, and you know, these companies kind of pick out, you know, the stars at a pretty young age. It's like mid-teen, 14, 15 sometimes.
What?
And
really?
Yeah. And they start like dance camp when they're really young, and they do like performance training. They have schools specifically for it. But it's a machine, man.
What?
It's pretty crazy. And America doesn't run like that at all, dude.
Damn.
But I think, like, you know, if I'm going to say anything, I think that's part of the reason that they're having a lot of success right now, and their quality output is really high. And I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know all the ins and outs of the dark side of it, but my experience there was awesome. But yeah, it's like for the writing camps, it's like the companies will pick writers from America and we'll fly them out, because I think some of the Korean artists are trying to kind of go a little bit more global, and Blackpink just did that kind of recently within the last 3 or 4 years or so. They've like westernized quite a bit, and kind of turned into pop mainstream.
It's kind of crazy, and
which is sick.
The biggest ever. Like, it's so wild. Like, we're talking about K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's really good.
Steph was freaking out about it. How big of a deal it is.
It's really good. My little stepsister, she's 14.
Yeah.
She before I went to Korea, she called me because I had told my dad that I was going to Korea to go work with Tzuyu, and my dad didn't really know, but he like looked her up, and he was like, "Yo, that's awesome." And but my little sister, she calls me and she's like, "Hey, so Dad told me that you're going to Korea to work with one of the really big K-pop idols out there. Who are you going to work with?" And I was like, "I'm going to work with Tzuyu." And she like threw the phone down and started freaking out.
What?
And I was like, "Do you know about K-pop?" I was like, "I didn't know that you knew." And she was like, "Yes, K-pop Demon Hunters is my favorite movie ever." And I was like, "I didn't know that you knew about this."
Oh, that's cool.
So that was really cool for me to have like a really direct connection there. And on the set of the music video shoot, it was like super late one night. It's 16 hours ahead over there. So it's crazy. Communicating with America with that time difference is ridiculous. But it was like super late one night, the night of the video shoot, and I just like went to Tzuyu. I was like, "Hey, can you make a video for my little sister?" And she made a video for her, and I sent it to her name's Ryan. I sent it to her, and she was at school. I didn't know she was at school, but which I
Damn.
guess they allow phones at school now. When I was in high school, you can have your phone.
Well,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, crazy. But I sent her the video and she texted me back. She sent like 10 different messages and they were all like jumbled. And it was just like, OMG.
That's so cute.
I just, she was like, I just screamed in the middle of my hallway and everybody looked at me and thought something happened.
That's
And I
so
was like,
cute.
yeah. So it was really cool. But K-pop Demon Hunter is a really good movie. You got to watch
Damn,
it.
I need to tap in.
Yeah.
I Oh, actually, one question I want to ask you is about writing K-pop songs. Is it way different than writing like a Americanized song? Because one of my friends was saying, this guy Gino, he was telling me that it's
Gino the Ghost?
Gino the Ghost.
Yeah, I know him. He's
best guy
fire.
ever.
Yeah, he's super sick.
He was explaining that it's a little bit different, or like the wording's different, or whatever else. It was confusing.
Yeah.
But it's either like super simplified, or I don't know what he was saying. But is it different for you? When you're writing
Yeah,
it?
it's like the process is a little different because the structure of the songs is different, and like the intention. They have a lot of like dance breaks and
It's kind of crazy.
which is sick, dude.
Yeah.
They dance their asses off. It's so fire. Which like nobody in America is really doing right now. It's kind of crazy. I think that's like part of what the appeal is, and it's kind of part of the reason that I've started dancing. I've been dancing for like the last year. Is because 1, I love it. 2, the dance community is amazing, and 3, because no one's really doing it. So it's like I'm trying to bring people back to the dance floor. Like,
Yeah.
club bangers, get everybody dancing.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with K-pop, it's like you write with the intention of knowing there's dance breaks, and they're very big on like their keywords and like catchy words that are song titles that you can repeat over and over. But when you write it in English, a lot of the time they translate it over into Korean, so you don't have to necessarily focus on the lyrical content as much. You can kind of focus on like the energy and the feel, but sometimes they won't translate it. So like you kind of you still gotta put your best foot forward, but it's definitely different. You know, there's a certain formula I think in American pop music that works, and it's an entirely different formula for K-pop.
And when you started getting into dancing, was that because just you're bored or for fun, or you're like, oh, I can see this is where my career is going, I need to be a little bit more like this?
It was a few things. I danced a little bit in Why Don't We when we were touring, but it was never anything like good. I don't know if you've seen videos, but if you haven't, don't look up any videos.
Don't watch any videos of me dancing, brother.
Okay, we're out here.
Yeah, we got you.
You could do it though. If I could do it, you could do it.
No. I'm bad, brother.
And it's all about the hips, dude. It's really.
I
all
got
about the
none.
hips. No,
They
dude.
called me a tree trunk. I did Dance with the Stars. And
Oh, you did Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
What? How long ago?
like 2 years ago.
Oh shit.
It's so bad.
Was it
bro.
fun?
It was great. It was a great experience, but like I got clowned by Billy Porter, and he said I was a tree trunk, and then when we went on tour, I came out in a tree outfit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
Because I was like,
That's really funny.
I can't do anything else but be like tall and like stand there.
And you gotta kind of play into it, I guess,
Yeah,
if he
but
says that.
Dude, I see all these other guys dance. I was like, fuck, I wish I had hips like this.
Yeah,
I wish I
it's
could do-
really hard, bro. When I started, I had kind of underestimated like the coordination and the brain power it takes to like move your body. You know, it's a lot of like if you're trying to do this thing, like see,
Yeah.
I'm even messing it up already. It's a lot of left brain, right brain.
Yeah.
But I've been taking a lot of inspiration from, Bieber was like my biggest inspiration growing up, and Justin Timberlake was the first CD I ever
Goats.
owned. I also wanted to do something different after coming out of the group. It was like there was a period of time after everything kind of fell apart where I was just like, who the fuck even am I? Like, what am I outside of this bigger thing? Like, who am I as Corbyn Besson? Who am I as an individual? And
Wow.
took a lot of soul searching and just kind of like experimenting and trying stuff. And I was like, you know what? I love watching people dance. I think it's so sick. I've never really tried, but I think I could do it. And I had a little rhythm, and in the group, I was one of the better dancers. So I was like, I'm just going to give it a try. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, you know what? I think, one, this would be like a unique element to me that no one else is really doing. And I think it's something I could bring to the table that people would enjoy. And 2, it was a way for me to like challenge myself, mentally, physically, and artistically, and see like prove to myself what I was like really capable of. Dancing's just fun, man.
Well, if you're good.
Yeah. But even if you're not good, if you're in the club, like you want to move your body,
Sure,
and
yeah.
it's really nice to like, even if you're not good at dancing, to just like break through that barrier and just like
Yeah.
want to be free and connect your body to the music. It's
Yeah.
it's been fun. It's a little challenging when you're trying to do it at a professional level and it becomes more about performance.
Yeah, you're singing at the same time, like.
Yeah,
dude,
I'm still figuring that out right now.
That's gotta be fucked,
dude. I'm on my way.
Okay.
It's but it's also it's a lot of cardio, man. I underestimated that aspect of it. Dancing hard for like 3 minutes. Like I'm super out of breath, heart rate spiking, backs of my knees are sweating.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
And you got to hit a note,
dude. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
And then also like the audience, like I forget who it was. It was a video of someone, and she was trying to dance and then sing at the same time. Everyone's like, she doesn't sound that good live. I was like, she's like pretty much doing a backflip.
Dude, I know. And
difficult.
So have some grace for these artists that are dancing.
So when you were talking about soul searching, was there anything else that you were like? Obviously, we had the other boys on the show, and obviously a massive part of your identity is being in that boy band.
Yeah.
And then once you pull away from that, like I would be struggling with competition wise. Then you probably got people calling you and like pulling you in all different directions. Apart from dancing, what else helped you figure yourself out and like come back to yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sick question. Honestly, just trying to surround myself with like good people that cared about me and believed in me, and maybe more than I believed in myself at times, because I'm like a big validation guy, and like I'll admit it, I think, and maybe we all are to some extent.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It was tough, man. It was just like I also just a lot of experimenting, and just like the biggest thing for me, I think, was like breaking down the barrier of like being afraid to fail, and you know, specifically talking about like songwriting, for example, like getting into the room and being like, okay, it's okay if I write a terrible song today. Like, it's fine, because tomorrow I could write the best song I've ever written. And it was just like that mental block of like, oh, if I fail, I'm done. My career's over. Like my single Tied Up, which was the first single I dropped this year, was like the first record out of all of my songs that I felt had pushed me out of my comfort zone initially. Like when we were writing it in the studio, I was like, I don't know if I can pull this off. This is very like synthy, and it has a lot of JT influence, but it's like new and fresh and has some like EDM influence. And I was like, I don't know if I can pull this off. And then I recorded the song and thought I sounded amazing on it. And I was like, oh, something unlocked in my head where I was like, this actually feels a lot like the true version of myself just coming out that I was maybe afraid to like display. Wow. And so that song was like a turning point moment for me. And the rest of the songs that are on my EP that's coming out in January, all were written after that song was written. And so all of those songs kind of came from a different place within my heart, my body, my mind. I'm super proud of them, and I think they feel the most authentic to me that I've ever felt. And the songs are all really good. I'm biased, again, it's my project, but they're really good, and I'm excited for people to hear them. And so, yeah, I think just like forcing myself to be uncomfortable. And so I encourage anybody who's maybe at a point in their life where they don't know going forward, be uncomfortable, because that's where you grow. And the best day of your life could be tomorrow. You know, it's like, I just encourage people to just like keep pushing and be uncomfortable, because it's actually really good.
It's the best.
It's hard to be uncomfortable, but it's really
so
good.
It's awkward, but it's great.
Yeah.
When you're in the boy band, or just in general, was there a moment where your mental health was like kind of ticking, like this is the hardest thing I have to do, but I have to push through, or you kind of made a decision because of the fans? Is there any moments like that? Because I was thinking about, again, like how tough it would be to have all this outside pressure and the whole world kind of on your back, and you're like, oh well, I'm exhausted today, I'm sad, I don't want to do anything, but I have to just do it for these people. Was there a moment like that where you're like, I'm gonna give up, but I have to keep going?
Dude, there's been a lot of moments like that. I will say though, I tend to have a pretty positive outlook on most things, and I think that's half by choice, but half by habit. I think I like taught myself that at a young age, and honestly, it's really helped. Sometimes it gets me in trouble though, because I'll give people the benefit of the doubt when they don't deserve it. I mean, there've been some lows, man. But I've always just tried to visualize and imagine my future exactly the way I want it. And I think the energy that you give to the world, you get. And so for me, it's like I've always found joy in like trying to be a positive light for people and for my friends, my family, for my fans. And I think the universe has kind of reciprocated that for me a bit. And I've been super blessed and very grateful for that. But at the lowest points, it came down to just me knowing that like there's nothing else that I could be doing in this world. There's nothing else that I would want to be doing. I can't imagine myself doing anything else other than being an artist and performing and writing songs and being a light for people, you know, regardless of what my circumstance is. And doing that has just been so fulfilling for my heart over the years, and getting to do it at a young age in the group really taught me a lot about like life and humanity and just people in general.
Yeah.
And I never want to like take any of that for granted. And so I would never choose to do anything else. I think it's like, this is my calling, and hopefully it works out for me in the long run.
I think you're doing okay, brother.
But yeah,
you're doing great.
But yeah, just always shooting for the stars, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if it's not fun, it's probably not worth doing. And there's days where it's definitely not fun, but there are days when it's super fun. And I think at the lowest lows, you just have to remember what were the highest highs like. And to me, that always outweighed the lowest lows. And it's like, life is like this, man. The industry is like this. Music careers are like this. And you just have to remember that, like, the same way they say what goes up must come down, what goes down gotta come back up at some point.
Yeah.
You gotta bounce it off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, I don't know, man. Just choosing to, regardless of how I feel, like trying to keep a positive outlook. So I encourage anybody also, I keep encouraging people to do things.
Encouraging.
But
they need it. We all need it.
Yeah, man. If it's just try to force yourself to think of positive outlooks. Eventually it becomes habit. And I think that has changed my life drastically. I don't ever really get that sad anymore. And maybe that's like an ignorant thing to say, or, you know, but I think like forcing yourself to view the world a certain way, you start to view the world that way subconsciously. And it can be tough, but
Wait, did you develop that, or you were born like that?
I might have been born like that.
No, because I'm starting to be like that as well. I'm trying to like be a little bit more appreciative. Like when I'm stressed about things, like I'm so glad, like I'm grateful that I get to be stressed about this thing.
Yeah, it's such a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But it can be tough. It's like the world is hard, and like, so I don't discount the fact that like, Kai. I don't discount the fact she's trying to defend us.
Yeah.
Like, nobody.
Don't be positive.
Yeah, I don't discount that it can be really hard. And I've heard so many stories over the years, you know, just from fans about just tough times they've been through, and, you know, so many things that I've never had to experience in my life. And I also think hearing a lot of that stuff at a young age is also crazy and kind of changes your perspective on like what the world might really be like. And it's forced me to honestly, as part of my job, be a positive light to people. And so I think habitually over the years, I've just like chosen to see the world that way and choose to be positive.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is when you're with the boys, how's the relationship like today? Like, you went to Daniel's show. I think everyone was there, right? From one.
Yeah.
How's it with the boys now? Is it you guys still text each other every day, or is it?
We don't text
tough?
every day.
Okay.
We text honestly pretty rarely, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's like it's not negative. I think it's just like natural progression of life, you know. I mean, we're all in our like mid-20s now, and I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20 now. So it's like,
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, no,
How old are you?
28.
Oh, okay. You got a couple years on me. We're getting there though, man. We're getting there.
I'm getting there, brother. You're fine.
I'm almost 27. But no, 30's the new 20. That's what I've been hearing. That's what I keep telling people.
Yeah,
And
we're putting it out there.
30s are when you have like adult money and you have adult experiences, and you can just do whatever you want.
That's what everyone says. It's the best time to be alive.
Yeah,
in your 30s.
That's what I keep hearing. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the relationship's great, and we always encourage each other to do our best. And I love seeing the guys do their solo stuff, and you know, whenever I drop something, they hit me and they're like, yo, this is sick. And I mean, those are my brothers. We traveled the world together and have done so been through hell and back together.
Yeah.
But I think it was the natural progression of things, man. I think bands, to a certain extent, most of the time have a shelf life, and you can only do that thing for so long. So I think regardless of what happened with the legal or just the state of the world.
Did you pay that $1?
Yeah, did I Apple Cash him or did I Venmo him? I Apple Cash or Venmoed him as soon as the trial ended.
Really?
Yeah, $1. There you go, you motherfucker.
That's kind of so crazy. It must have been nice to kind of get that over and done with, though, right?
Yeah, there's still a couple of things kind of going on behind the scenes. Nothing as insane as what that was. But it's never really over until it's like over, and there's like appeals, and there's like.
But they're still coming for shit.
Kind of. It's there's. It's like we're trying to get into mediation, and
jeez.
There's certain elements of the case that are kind of unresolved at the current moment, or we feel like verdicts should have been different, or they feel like verdicts should have been different. So and court is slow, dude. It's so slow. I never encourage anybody to get into court unless you're gonna win.
Yeah, it's gonna be quick.
Oh, dude, it's never quick,
man.
and it's never easy, but it's fine, and I'm a better person for it, and it's not holding me back from doing anything that I want to do, and that's been super liberating. And again, like I was kind of saying, I think we was gonna split at some point, and I think since the split, I've fallen in love with music in a very different way than I loved music in the group, and I feel way more myself now, and I have just people around me that really believe in me, and it's felt very just liberating to like be able to do this and have a career that's my own, and have music that's my own, and have friends that are my own, and I would imagine the rest of the guys feel the same way. I haven't asked them, but I think it's natural progression, and it was bound to happen at some point.
For sure.
And honestly, regardless of the lawsuit, what are you going to do about a global pandemic? I mean, that's like a once in a lifetime. Like, of course, dude. Of course. Really crazy time in the world.
Wait, if you got asked to be in a K-pop boy band, would you do it?
Dude.
Or are you
I would very heavily consider it, man. Yeah. I would consider it. I don't know if I'm Korean enough. To be in a K-pop boy band.
That's a good point.
I think I'm too white, but
I feel like you could pull it off.
And
what are you gonna do? Just have good skin and
I don't know. I think you probably got to be, born in the area, in the region.
No, a lot of them are Australian.
Some of the Blackpink girls are Australian, right?
Yeah. I saw that Roses and Rosie started talking. I was like, that's an Australian accent.
But they're of like Asian descent.
True. Yeah.
I'm of straight European, Swedish. A little bit of French. Like,
wait, the Cat's Eye girls, they're not all Korean?
No, they're like a different breed, though. They're like
See, you could be the new era.
And I already did it once in my life. I already did it once. No, Cat's Eye girls are dope, though. They're so sick.
Dude, I met one of them the other night at Paris Hilton's party. The one with the pink in her hair.
Oh, Megan.
Yeah, she was so shy. I was like, you're the biggest thing ever.
I know. She's so sweet. I met her a few months ago, and I would consider us friends. She's so sweet. Yeah,
these girls. I'm like, you're the biggest thing. Like,
yeah,
don't be afraid.
Yeah, so I knew it was coming for him. I met her. It was probably 6 to 8 months ago, and I was curious, and I had asked her about what her experience in the group has been so far, just because I had obviously been in a boy band, and so I was like, what's it like? And I won't speak on it, but it was crazy to hear certain elements of that were like similar to the experience that I went through in the group, both on the positive and negative side. But I knew it was coming for them. Well, they're super dope.
I bet with anything, there's probably a lot of like up and down, especially being in a group that's blowing up as quick as they're blowing up.
Yeah.
And being pulled in like, hey, you have to do this, or these are your obligations, whatever else. I was talking to Gino about it as well.
Yeah.
Because I think he's either done some work with them or knew them before that they were blowing up. I didn't realize like it was a crazy like audition process. And it was like super intense.
Yeah. I haven't seen the show. I need to watch the show. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, these big K-pop labels, companies, I don't know what you would want to label them, but their selection process is rigorous, and it's very meticulous, and they really only pick the best of the best. And what I will say about the Cat's Eye Girls is I have never seen them like not execute damn near flawlessly. Every
They're
performance,
so good.
like, they are so good, and
It's
they were
crazy.
cast perfectly. The group,
Yeah.
the group themselves, they have such a sick look, and each one of the girls has like an individual like thing about them that's really cool and unique, and they're diverse, and I wish them all the success. I think they could be the biggest thing in the world at some point.
For sure.
But they're tight, and I like their music, and I love watching their performances. I think they're like setting a standard for groups that's really good for the industry, and just the quality output is very high. And
Dude, it's kind of
it's
scary.
yeah,
This is so
dude,
good.
the work ethic, man.
It's
To be in a
crazy.
group is crazy. To be an artist, the work ethic is honestly crazy.
Yeah.
But those girls are different from what I've seen. They're different.
Yeah, because I was, we had Tucker Wetmore. Yeah.
I don't know if I know who that is.
He's a country artist.
Okay.
And he was explaining literally every day is like a show on the bus, driving around doing all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even know how you guys are creative, or like how you have to sit down and like write songs or like get inspired for stuff when your life is just so constantly like on the move, especially like in a boy band or a girl band. Like how constant and how strenuous that must be to like, okay, you have to be here at this time and you have to show up, and you have to do these intense dances.
Yeah, it comes and goes in waves, honestly.
But,
it's like,
dude,
you kind of have to compartmentalize like different parts of your life. I think the best way to do it, and we'll see if I'm able to continue doing it this way, but there's times of the year for touring and there's times of the year for writing.
Right.
And I think when you're on tour, I guess I haven't really toured solo myself yet. I plan to early in the year next year, which I'm super stoked for. Some artists, I think, are creative on the road, but there's so much happening on the road in terms of like promo and meeting people every day and performing properly, and your sleep schedule's all messed up because you get off stage and your adrenaline's pumping, but it's 11 at night, so like you're up late and whatever. But I find that like being on the road is super inspiring for like your life and your soul. And like when you come off the road, you definitely feel like, and this was just my experience in the group, you definitely feel like, oh, okay, it's nice to be off the road. That was a crazy run. You're giving people all of your attention at all times, but it's also super fulfilling because it's so fun. There's nothing like the roar of a crowd when your intro starts playing, and then the first time the spotlight hits you when you're standing on the stage, it's like, dude, literally nothing like it.
Damn.
But then after all of that, after the intensity of that, coming back and being like, that was awesome, and I know the only way I get to do that again is if I write great songs. And so they go hand in hand.
Pressure, though.
And it is a lot of pressure, but if you love what you're doing and you have convinced yourself that you're good at what you do, good songs are always there just waiting to be written. It's definitely fun.
Dude, you've got a crazy schedule. How do you balance a relationship? Like,
Dude,
this is wild.
It's honestly, my girl is just, she's so good at like being fine with what I do. And I think like, I mean, when I'm home, I'm a homebody just in general. So like, we watch our movies and we watch our TV shows. And so like late night stuff is like, we always get like our chill time. And I haven't been out on the road yet while we've been together. So that's going to be like a new step, I think. She gets homesick really easy, so
she won't be with you?
So I don't know. I'm going to force her to come with me the first tour.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll want to stay the whole time, but it's been fine. I've been blessed, and she's a great girl. And I'm excited, though, to show her, because she hasn't seen, like, I guess I would put it like my other life, you know what I mean? Like, the whole boy band life that I lived before, like she's never really seen what that's like. Just because we started dating over the pandemic, so it's like I haven't toured since then. But I'm excited to show her like places she's never seen before, and I think she'll adapt pretty quickly. And the thing that's sick about touring is like every day is an adventure. And in LA, every day does not feel like an adventure. You have to like force yourself to, and maybe this is true for any city, but force yourself to like have a day,
It's true, bro. Yeah, I was thinking about that on the weekend. It's like you have to really like plan something different.
Yeah.
Like even today I was like, Just doing like the waking up, going to the gym, then answering emails, like doing the same old stuff. I was like, yeah, I have to force myself to like go and get out of my apartment and not be just sitting there doing nothing. I guess it's probably the same. Everywhere. You have to really like.
Are you a routine guy? Like, do you thrive on routine?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all like I have my stuff every day, and then like, even this morning I'm like, I need to like drive a different direction or like change it up a little bit because like I feel like a robot.
Yeah, eventually it gets super monotonous.
Yeah,
it's like,
bro, it sucks.
if I have to fold one more pair of boxers on my bed and stick it in my drawer, I'm gonna be pissed off, dude.
Yeah, I need to get a house. Wait, what is your advice for a long-lasting relationship? Because you guys have been together since COVID. Is that 5 years now?
Yeah, damn near.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
it is crazy.
Awesome. In LA, that's difficult.
I know, dude. I've watched my friends, you know, kind of some of my friends struggle a little bit, you know. The LA dating pool, man. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of highs and lows in that department. But it's tough, man. LA is just such a specific place that, like, just from the outside looking in, I can see where it can be tough, man. And I've honestly just gotten really lucky. Like, I'll put it to that. I've gotten really lucky. I think my best advice would be just like communicate. It's so cliche, but just like communication and like trust. And I think like, and also you got to know the red flags early. You got to know the red flags. I think a lot of people get into trouble because they ignore red flags because there's some other green flags that are really good. And like, red flags will always outweigh green flags. And I think just like showing the person that you care and just not being a fucking idiot and doing shit that'll make your partner mad, like out of spite. I think that's like the biggest thing, is like not doing stuff to each other out of spite, because like at the end of the day, your only goal with your partner should be to make that person happy. And it's like, if you find yourself doing things to like get at them or make them jealous or do that, like that's always the start of a even bigger problem that eventually blows up. And then now there's like trust that's messed up, and now your communication's off, and you wake up next to that person, and also never go to bed mad at each other. Never do that. Never do that. That's a death wish. Absolute death wish. And just not worth it. Literally just not worth it. And also don't be afraid to say you're sorry, and don't be afraid to admit that you're wrong. And that's so I have to admit that I'm wrong even when I'm right. But it's just like, and also picking your battles. I know I just named like 7 things, but and just be a good person. I think if you're just a good person in general in your life,
life's better.
You attract, life is way better. You attract good people, and when your circle is all just good people that you love and that you love being good to, it's a Blink mention.
He's like, yeah, we need to plug it one more time.
And your life just gets better. Just be good to people, and good people will find you. And I guess that's my advice. That's a long, lengthy explanation of my advice.
I think, why are you biting me? Who was it? I think it was either Jonah or Daniel. One of them was saying that when you were in the boy band, you weren't really allowed to say that you're in a relationship, or you had to keep everything secretive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Were you nervous when, you know, you guys became public and the world started to know?
At first, kind of, yes, because I had been conditioned. I had been conditioned to like believe a certain thing, and I will also say, like, her and I both like value our privacy on that front. So, you know, we're not the type of couple that'll like be flashy on social media, and like, you know, I think it's like what's for us is for us, and like I think we both try to keep it that way, because when the world gets involved, also people are just cynical, man, and keyboard warriors are crazy and they type nasty things, and I think like that could just like get in your head a bit. And so I think like we really value privacy, and I think that's also been another thing. It's just like, we don't need to show off to anybody. We just need to show off to each other. And in today's world, I think that's like, there's a different standard because social media is so prevalent. But I also know a lot of people who are also like that, and I think it's really helped our relationship, and I think it would help everybody else's too. Yours is probably a little different because you have like a lot of very public relationships. But like, how do you handle that?
I don't, brother.
Yeah,
I just give up and crash out.
Yeah, I probably would too, man. I can't imagine the pressure of that. I've never had that,
dude. It sucks because like, I'm only known for being on dating shows, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not an artist or any of this stuff. Like I kind of just came up from being on a dating show. So when you aren't showing that part of your world, people kind of get pretty bored.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So now I've been in it like long enough that like I've done a few other things and I'm able to be known for other stuff. So it's nice to keep it kind of separated. But then again, now I'm going on a show where the goal is I have to get married.
Yeah.
So I'm just opening it up again. So
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
got to be
know.
thrilling though.
It's thrilling, but it's so much pressure, right?
Yeah.
Like you have the whole world essentially eyeballs and putting the energy into your relationship and trying to nitpick it, or
Yeah.
do you see how he looked at this
They
person?
love to do
Or
that.
dude. Everything
They
they'll
love
pick
to do that.
everything
It's
apart.
crazy.
People will overanalyze things or be like, oh, well, you follow this person or whatever
Yeah.
else. You can't escape it.
Yeah.
It's
People
tough.
just be saying shit, man.
Yeah.
They just be saying shit.
It's like they just want
Shout out
see.
to everybody online that shows love.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout out to
everybody
you
that
guys.
shows love.
Yeah.
Anybody that types mean things, bro,
Oh,
go outside,
yeah,
man. Go
come on.
outside.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Wait, you said on TikTok that you love impulse spending.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Wait, why are we laughing? What's the craziest purchase you've done for yourself?
I've bought so much clothing over the years that I have no idea what happened to it. Like,
Yeah.
just like, Gucci bomber jackets and like Saint Laurent
You just wear it
leather
once
and
stuff.
yeah, I've gotten better now. I've
Yeah.
gotten better now. I think my like favorite impulse spend, which actually turned out to be very useful, was when I turned 21. I bought what was my first car, sports car, BMW.
Oh yeah.
Love it. I still have it to this day, parked out front. I love that thing to death. But at the time, this was like December 2019, so we had just gotten back from playing Jingle Ball Tour, and we were only going to be in LA for like 2 or 3 months, and then we were going to go on another 9-month touring cycle. So like, I was not going to be driving the car at all, for 3/4 of the year. But I really wanted one, and I think the sticker on the car was like $90,000 or something, and I was 21 years old, and I was like, I know I don't need this car, but I'm gonna buy this car. And it worked out though, because COVID happened, and I ended up staying home, and I've had the car for 5 years now, and
Hell yeah.
I just wrapped it. This was another impulse. I just wrapped it. It's like this purple and blue iridescent, like it literally looks like a Hot Wheels car. And it's sick, dude. It's sick. It's loud and proud.
Yeah.
It was like gunmetal gray before, and I'd had that for like 5 years. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to make a change.
Feels like a
And
new
so-
car too when you wrap it.
Yeah, I double parked it in a space the other day. Felt awesome, dude.
Yeah.
First time I've ever double
Yeah.
parked it. I was at Tender Greens.
Damn.
And it was 2 compact spots, and my creative director Martin, he loves double parking,
Hell yeah.
and so he was like, you better double park that space. And it
Hell
was
yeah.
first time I've ever double parked a
You
space,
feel like
by
a
the
guy.
way.
Like, I'm the
And
kid.
I was like, this looks so douchey, man. It's just like the loudest car in this lot, and it's double parked in 2 compact spaces. But I don't trust people in LA, man.
No.
They be hitting your cars and leaving. It's
Yeah.
happened to me so many times.
Yeah.
Dent in your door, and you don't know who did it. Back in your front bumper, leave a huge dent or a huge scratch. And it's
worse.
like, at least if you double park, you got like a few feet on each side.
Yeah.
But the risk is you accidentally piss someone off too much, and then they deliberately do something to your car because you double
Yeah.
parked it. So I don't know how much I'm gonna gamble with that, but that was probably my biggest like impulse spend. That actually ended up working out because
Yeah.
I've driven it every day since.
good.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one.
What's yours?
Bro, probably watches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Like
got a nice one on right there.
yeah, no, this is my favorite one. Hell
we should
yeah.
cheers them.
Yeah, I think like last month I got a Daytona,
Nice.
and then I went to the
do you have a pretty nice collection right now?
Dude, I had a crazy one, and then I was like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
I've got all this shit for no reason. Like, I had an iced out rollie. I had all this, like, crazy shit. I'm like, I don't even care that much.
Yeah.
So I got rid of all of them, and then I just had this one.
Yeah,
and
nice.
then-
My
but-
manager's a big watch guy, so
really?
I'm like
Yeah,
getting there.
it's good. It's, like, nice. But then, like, this month, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go on this show. I should get a few more.
Yeah.
And then I went to the AP house, and which is, like, this crazy, like, setup that they have. And I took one of my really rich friends with me, and he's like, whatever they offer you, you have to buy it so then you can buy up and get a cooler thing.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, oh, I don't really want to spend another like 30, 40 grand.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, they're expensive, bro. It's crazy.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And then I went there and he's like, well, we've got this one that we can offer you. And my friend's like, you better fucking get it. And I'm like,
Did you get it?
Yeah. I was like, now,
Yeah.
now I've got these 2 watches.
Let's
I'm
go.
never going to wear.
Let's go.
Wait, we have a game.
They'll hold their value, though, yeah?
I don't know. Maybe now because of tariffs?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm kind of just like living on a prayer, dude.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Well, because every time I bought one, everyone's like, that's an investment. It's not.
And
I've
you do have
lost
to
money on
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that one should hold value. I think mine has held so far.
No, mine's
And-
fucked.
and-
I'm down 20K on this.
No, really?
I got it for 60, and that was COVID. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then all of them now like 40,000. I'm like,
You gotta talk to my manager. He might be able to help you out.
I'm not good with
Might
it.
be able to get it to it.
yeah,
He knows so much about watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a game. So
Okay.
we have to play girl trivia. They're just gonna say stuff, and we have to figure it out.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yo, there's.
Hey guys.
What?
Hey.
Okay, so we're gonna play a game of girl trivia. I'm coming to the speaker.
Kai's like, what is going
So
on?
confused.
Hi,
It's
Kai.
like his voice from the heavens.
Basically, we're gonna ask you a question, and you guys both need a buzzer sound. So if you want to answer the question first, like just buzz in by making a sound with your voice.
Okay. Mine will be blink.
Great. Harry, what will yours be?
Promo.
And then, yeah, we'll just kind of see what is better here.
Okay.
Oh, man.
The first question in girl trivia. Name 3 beauty products you can use on your eyes.
Hunk, eyeshadow, mascara, foundation. No.
Can you technically use foundation on your eyes?
I guess technically you can.
Third one, eyeliner.
Fuck. Oh.
Try. Close.
Okay, remember to buzz in. What are the
Oh, yeah.
What are the 2 words that when combined spell jeggings?
Oh, blink.
But
Leggings, jeans.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
blink.
Blink.
Next question. What would you use a beauty blender for?
Blending beauty.
I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think of that answer, omniscient voice?
Voice from the God mic.
Is that not right?
I would say it's close. Could we get more specific?
Blink, blending foundation or applying concealer.
It's good.
Yes.
What are curtain bangs?
Blink.
What?
They're the bangs that kind of like frame your face.
Wow.
right?
Yeah, that's
Wait,
right.
what?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
My girlfriend had those for a little while. So, yeah.
This was submitted by a listener. They asked, what is a speculum?
What? Speculum?
Speculum.
A speculum.
A speculum. What is a speculum? Spec.
Is it like a tool of some sort?
Yeah. do
Yeah.
You look
Oh!
At, you look at your. No. Oh, blink. A speculum is a tool where you look at your bussy. No. No?
Yeah, what would you...
Yeah,
Actually,
open it up.
that's correct.
It's what a gynecologist uses to open up your fanny.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, good work, dude.
Yes.
Good work.
Speculum.
Wow, speculum.
Wow.
Good
Ooh.
job, Harry.
It sounds like a
It sounds terrible.
crazy device.
Why am I? Where's that the only one I got?
Is it-
You got all the cute ones.
Next question. What are mom jeans?
Loose fitting jeans.
Yeah, and I would say there's another characteristic of the mom jean.
They're washed.
They're
Um,
are they like kind of, like high rise?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
I'd
that
say
was a straight guess.
you guys
That's
can
half
split
point
that.
for each.
Yeah.
Half point for each. That was yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say a quote, and then you can tell me what movie the quote is from.
okay.
The quote is, I am a cool mom.
Blink. So she's Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I should have known that one. I had no idea, to be
I had
honest.
the camera.
And yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you were doing. Like,
Gridiron?
he's really thinking right now.
Yeah.
Next question. What does GRWM stand for?
Blink.
Blink.
Get ready with me.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Good work.
There we
Good
go.
work.
Finally, I'm coming back.
Good work.
Next question. Who famously wore a dress made of real meat to the VMAs?
Blink. Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Whoa.
The meat
I
dress.
thought it was Julia Fox.
She might have as well.
She probably
might
did
have.
that.
Oh, didn't she wear didn't she do a tribute? I do remember the Lady Gaga meat dress. Wild thing to do. Good for her though.
It would have been cold.
Wouldn't expect anything less of Lady Gaga
Yeah.
though, to be honest.
Goat.
She's like that.
She's doing it.
This one, we'll wrap up with kind of a rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's match the celebrity to the celebrity stan name, kind of like their fan base name,
Ooh,
right?
okay.
Katy Perry.
Perry's.
Blink. Fireworks.
The Katy Cats.
Oh,
Katy Cats.
that's really good,
Ah.
actually. Should have known that.
Next is Ariana Grande.
Oh, Blink.
What?
Is it the Arianators?
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Wow.
right.
Okay. Damn it.
Demi Lovato.
Lovato.
Oh, I know this one.
Harry, you're actually kind of close with that.
Lovatos?
Close.
Lavadiosa. Leviosa.
Wingardium
Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Levaticans.
Very close.
Levaticans?
Kind of close.
Levaticans. Levadas?
Levatics.
Levatics.
Fuck.
You were really close. You were dancing around it
Yeah, I was,
for a while
I was
there.
like, I have to get something.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, Blink Believers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Beyonce.
Beehive. Bayhive. Blink.
Yep.
Bay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Lizzo.
Lizards.
That would be pretty good.
That would
low-key.
be a good one.
Lizzo.
How is it not lizards?
It should be lizards.
Lizards a good one.
Unless what it actually is better than that. But
I think it's better.
It's better?
Hint is like the LGBTQ plus community. Lesbians.
Oh, that's really
that's really
good.
good.
That's
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 way
really
better.
good, man.
Lady Gaga.
The
Monsters. Blink. Little Monsters.
Yep.
oh wow,
Taylor Swift.
You said real. I'm like, oh, it's going to be
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Oh, Blink Swifties.
Hey.
Nicki Minaj.
The Naginators. The
Super bass.
super bassists.
Yeah. Yeah, bassist.
The
No,
I feel like I know this one.
She did a song for this, box office success movie, Summer of
the
what?
Bobs.
Barbs. Yeah.
I knew that
That
one.
was that's
I
a
just
big
wouldn't
one.
have thought of it.
Me neither.
Two more. Rihanna.
Rihanna Fries.
Oh, God, I'm so much worse at this
Yeah,
than I
I'm really
expected
bad at
to
this
be.
stuff.
Military adjacent.
Rangers. Riami.
Marines.
What? Oh,
Uh,
Navy SEALs.
Oh, the
Navy?
Navy. Oh, interesting. Why is that?
That doesn't make sense. I
Yeah.
don't like that one.
And the last one is Selena Gomez.
Oh, I know.
Gomanitas.
Is it Selenators?
Selenators.
Yeah.
Salami.
Salami. The salami.
Selenators is right.
Selenators.
Selenators?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That was a
job, you
guess. I, didn't
guys.
know.
I got a headache trying to figure that out.
I thought I was going to know more of them,
I was
to be
really
honest.
tired.
I feel super uncultured right now.
That's all we got. Good job, guys.
I'm sorry to all fan bases.
Yeah. We really apologize.
We got Swifties, we got Believers.
No, yeah, you crushed it. Well, guys, that was it for today's episode. If you are new here, please subscribe. We are nothing without you. Please subscribe. Love you so much. Anything you want to plug before we wrap it up?
Yeah, my new single Blink, featuring Tzuyu from Twice, is out right now. The video's on YouTube. You can go watch it. The song is fire. My EP's coming out, I think, in January. I'll be touring next year, and I'm very excited about all of it. Oh, it's going to be so sick.
What's your Instagram?
And
So they can
my
find
Instagram, at Corbyn Besson. That's Corbyn with a Y, Corbyn. That's all my social medias. And also, thank you so much for having me today.
Brother.
This was a pleasure. This was really fun.
This is nice.
So,
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man, anytime.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. See you next week. Hell
Peace.
yeah.